that. Like I don't go around like, yo, dude, I'm leaving. You know what I mean? I just stop playing the game as often. And if there's something that's cool in the game, I come back. I think players, I want to talk about burnout because probably some people are feeling it if you have gotten ahead. My take on this, my community wanted to bring it up, is that it's normal. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to feel burned out. It's okay to step away. It happens in Korea all the time. Like people take a break, they wait for an update, they wait for a patch, right? It's like I I think people look at burnout way they look at burnout like it's a negative thing. Not burnout, but lack of things to do is a negative thing. Being on maintenance mode is a negative thing. When in reality, it gives you time to do other things. It gives you time to play other games. It gives you time to make alts if you want and people to catch up. So, share your thoughts, Zeals, on burnout, maintenance mode, downtime. Obviously, as like streamers, you don't really want it or whatever, but like just as a player, what do you, if players are saying, hey, I'm starting to feel burnt out, what do you say?
Um, I mean, I think it's just natural. You know, you're doing the same thing over and over, and there's no roadmap, nothing to chase. You're going to get burnt out if you go too hard. Some people are, just pedaling too hard, man. I see it in my chat, and it's gonna happen.
Hmm.
So even the director says it all the time. Like if you like for the even the people that are really pushing fast, they're on the fast lane. Then you might run out of things to do. You might want to check out other games like Elden Ring or something.
Yeah, what's wrong
So
with that?
yeah,
Why is it bad that people go play other games? Someone in my chat said, "Bro, we used to play WoW without taking a break like no lifers. We expect the same from Lost Ark." Man, there was downtime as shit in WoW, dude. That ain't true.
yeah,
There was
dude.
so much downtime, and you know what? Players are better, right? Players are better, and they're like, dude, the amount of info that some of my chat has learned in the 2 months the game has been out trumps my 2 months. You know what I
Right,
mean? I was so
definitely.
lost 2 months in, and these motherfuckers are my friends that I talk to in Discord, they know so much. So of course you're gonna go at a faster pace sometimes, and I think it's okay to take a break. Saint, what do you think? Oh, I didn't mean to. Zio, do you want to say something? I didn't mean to.
No, 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 no. I thought it was funny, man. Like it's just like when some people in my chat are like, "What's the best crew? What's the best shit?" I got Ashtray. What's next? Like I
every
know they're gonna
day.
get burnt out, dude. They're fucked. They're trying to go like fucking one more not faster.
Do you
I
ever
know these
think the
guys gonna get
people
burnt
who
out.
ask the questions in chat, like, is X or Y better, like how they might react if they picked like a class that's strong now that gets nerfed in like a
Yeah,
month from now? I
dude,
don't know. I
they're
feel
gonna
like these
lose
are the
it.
people
They're
that
gonna
won't
fucking lose it.
last.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
You
But yeah,
asked
I mean,
before you said one time someone came to your stream, what's the best tool? I don't know, what's the best tool to farm? And you're like the tool that you use for the life, like for the life skill. I don't fucking know. You're like, why do you care? I remember you're like, why the fuck do you care? Because people always do that. They're like, yo, what's, and then there's like a video I remember for New World, like, what's the best way to farm materials? The best way, and that's what fucking is on YouTube because that's what people search. Go for it, say it. It's just funny.
uh, I mean, Lost Ark's got a lot going for it, but obviously not all content is for everyone. You might not like collecting shit. You might not want to collect Makoko seeds or island souls or stuff. You might only be interested in the raid content, in which case there's only a finite amount of things for you to do. The MMO genre in general has a very difficult job where it has to retain your attention to play the game for thousands of hours, whereas a box package game like Elden Ring, 60 to 100 hours, one and done, put the game away, shelf it forever. And so MMOs in general, they have a really hard job. And I think a lot of developers have kind of come to that understanding, which is why you see it in Final Fantasy as well as now Lost Ark, where they're like, okay, well, if you're done playing the game, stop playing the game and maybe come back later and come back with a fresh mindset. If you play every day, you're probably not. You know what it reminds me of? You know those people who write reviews on Steam? This game is shit. Wouldn't recommend it. 5,000 hours played. Kind of reminds me of that a little bit. It's like these are the type of people that become the most disgruntled with enough time that passes. So try to find your enjoyment. And
Ah.
also, Lost Ark's a very alt-heavy game. If you want to enjoy it, you need to gear up your alts to a playable level. If you leave them in shit gear, you will hate playing them,
So
and you
true.
will hate Lost Ark.
So
Put them
true.
in like a standard. Some gems doesn't have to be high gems. Some engravings doesn't have to be perfect engravings. Give them a little bit of care and attention. That way, when you play them, it doesn't feel like an all. It just feels like a lower level.
Somebody was saying it. I remember again. I have this weird memory of specific moments, and I remember it was in your stream saying, and somebody asked you, you were gearing up one of your classes, and you're like, someone was like, is it worth investing like that gold into those accessories on your alt? Like, why are you getting that? And you're like in tier 2, and you're like, yeah, for my own enjoyment. Like, it's worth. I need to have fun, so that is worth the investment. Like, fun is worth the investment. And it was such a good answer. I'm like, you know what, dude, that's fucking true. I play this game every single day. I play it all day. I should try to maximize my fun on my alt. Why would I like skimp out so I can the best way to farm gold? You know what I mean? It's like fucking miserable, and it's super true.
Oh man, it's weird. Oh my god, like people asking like, what do I need to earn better on my relic, tool? I'm like, what?
Yep. I mean, if you eat in the burnout thing, it's like, dude, if you eat fucking pizza every day, tastes good first couple days, by the fucking 10th day, it tastes like shit. You know, you're eating it every day. You're just gonna burn out doing anything. You know what I mean? Like anything, all the time. So, except me with burritos. I don't know what's going on.
You know what's funny though? Sank gets like the same questions I do.
You know, between the three of us, if you look in the analytics, we share a huge amount.
Yeah, dude, you guys are
who watch. It's you two that have like the most like shared viewership with me when I look into my analytics. So I think a lot of the same people watch. They just ask the same question in each chat.
Yep, I love going to you guys' streams. I get to sit there in the chat and listen to you guys answer the dumb shit, and it's so fun. I get to sit there and just spam keck.
You know what? Just gonna globally ban them.
Yeah, just cross ban, dude. Cross ban them.
Oh, it's normal to get like. I mean, I know it's normal to get tired of these questions, but I feel like everyone's just tired of it too. All the content creators.
Well, it is true that like I heard that people, it's a chain. They'll like watch me into Saint into you, and they just rotate this chain.
You see it in every stream though. I pop in and lurk in Datmod's stream and like Scar's stream all the time, and I see the same questions there.
Oh my god.
It's just everywhere. It's everywhere. It's just this need for information, and I almost think it's because people are like scared that they'll make a mistake that they can never fix, or some shit like that.
Yeah, like
their
that.
Their mindset is they're scared. Yeah.
That dude in your chat, remember that? He's like, the streamer told me that Artillerist is bad in Legion and Hell mode raids. And I'm fucking in the chat, right? I'm just sitting there. I damn well never know. I never said that, right? So I'm just sitting there lurking in the goddamn shadows, you know what I mean? Eating my burrito. And this guy's like, a streamer told me that Artillerist is bad in Legion raids. And then it's like, which streamer told you that? It was Stoops. I'm like, man, what the fuck? And I literally called him out. I'm like, hell.
Right after that.
I was like, hell no. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna go find the VOD. I'm like, go find the goddamn VOD.
They can't, dude. They always have this like selective hearing and like they just nitpick their information. I just want to fucking hit it with the Berserker Fury, man. Outside Nia's village.
Yep.
Honestly, that's the only thing that bothers me when someone asks a question. And then if I do see it and I do answer it, and then they ask the question 2 seconds later, as if I didn't answer it, and then I'm like starting to doubt myself. Did I not answer that 2 seconds ago?
Yep. All right. Well, that's all the questions I have. Is there anything? I mean, I know you guys have been here for a while, but is there something that you really wanted just to bring up, talk about before I wrap it up? It's okay if you don't. It's totally fine if you don't. You don't have to make something up. Do you guys have anything that you want to share or talk about?
I mean, I think all I would say is like, now's a pretty decent time to just like, once you get your account established and your roster settled, and you have like a good core group of characters that you enjoy playing, you don't have to put in like 10 hours every day. You can take a chill. You can build up rest bonus. You can do all those things. If you want to be the last, you have to do the things that you enjoy. You need to avoid the things that you hate doing, and use that extra time to go do other stuff. Just try your best to enjoy the best parts of the game that you like.
100%. Good point.
Same. Because, like, you know, we play this game and stream this game every day, right? And we're also dealing with the same thing. Try not to burn out. We got to find our own balance. So we're also going through this with you guys. And I know we're waiting for the same thing. We're anticipating a lot of good things. And man, personally for me, I want the skins. I mean, I want everything, but just gotta pace yourself, guys. We've been saying this for months, and I know it's really hard. Now you guys are here finally, and now you guys understand.
I don't have patience for this anymore.
Go outside, you know. Yeah, look at the sun for once.
I haven't seen the sun in 2 months.
I've been going outside, man. I've been getting some time going outside, stretching these goddamn fucking chicken legs, dude. I've been working these goddamn things out. I'm trying to get some air. You know what I mean? Trying to get outside. But I did want to end it with this. Listen, guys, everyone watching, before I get into them, my one takeaway is, listen, guys. You know, I came from a game from WoW. A lot of people know that, where it felt like towards the end, a lot of the toxicity did really hamper my enjoyment of the game, despite all of the other things that were going on at Blizzard. And when it comes to Amazon and Smilegate, we talked about a lot of the things that we'd like to see improved. We talked about a lot of things that I want to see in the game added, changed, etc. But at the end of the day, we can only provide feedback. We don't have control over what they're going to do. What we do have control over, I said it back in the beta, is the community. Right? The one thing that everyone listening right now has control over is the community. So show some support to the people, the smaller creators in the section. Be cool to each other. Try to keep it positive. Try to keep it, if you don't like the game, brother, you know what I mean? It's all good. But if you like the game and you want to see it do well, try to keep it positive, constructive, and just, you know, fun. Just try to keep fun. Just try to bring fun in the community. That's something that we actually as players can control. We can't control the rest of it, right? We can control our attitude towards each other, at least, and people on the screen here, and so on. Thank you guys so fucking much for coming out and doing this. I'm so appreciative that you took the time, because I know it's cutting into your stream time. You can find their info, if you're watching this on YouTube, all down in the description below. I have no idea how this is going to do on YouTube. It's a long video. I don't know if it's going to do well or not, but either way, I think it was great for just live content on Twitch. All of their info will be listed down below for you guys to check it out. It's on the screen there. Go check out Zeals. Go check out Saint. Great content creators. Great, especially if you're a night owl as well, or an EU. Fantastic time zones for you guys. Anything from you guys quickly before we close out?
Yeah, thanks for having us on, and Zeals, it was great to actually get to talk to you.
Oh yeah, same.
I wanted to actually get to talk for a long so. I feel bad because you guys are both on NAE, so I don't think I'll get to play with you guys over there.
Korea, we'll do something on Korea.
I'm always down, man. Like, just like if I get like a time warning, I just wake up. But
going forward, for sure.
I've never said no, you know, to anybody.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, chat. Everyone, say goodbye to YouTube. Chat, say goodbye to YouTube. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Check out their channels. And we'll see you all in the next one. Peace.
Later, guys.
See you guys.
Bada bing. All right, what's going on, everyone? I have a pretty cool video for all of you guys today. I want to show you all of the skins that actually exist in Lost Ark, because there's so much conversation surrounding the game in terms of the skins that are currently available, so much so that they even went out with a PR post. Amazon did like a little PR post where they addressed the releasing of classes, the releasing of skins, and also addressing a lot of the honing issues that players were experiencing. And all with that, they're releasing a bunch of skins this Thursday as a gift to many of the players that were recently re-released in Korea. So in this video, I'm going to show you all the skins. I'll have trailers rolling throughout the video that you guys can see on the screen, and I will also have those linked down below, including a wiki page that has every single skin that exists in the game from the beginning of Lost Ark's release all the way until current day. There's so many skins here that actually exist in the game, and there's so few that we currently have. And with that, I know a lot of people were asking me, and one person in particular, which is the reason why I'm making this video, brought up a point saying, Stoops, there are no skins in the game, or the skins are the weak point to Lost Ark, which is pretty ironic because for a lot of people, And many players over in Korea, skins are the highlight of Lost Ark. And I was watching Asmon's stream not too long ago, and he brought up this picture, which I thought was hilarious, where it's basically Buzz Lightyear in a box. And it's showing, you know, if you remember Toy Story, this scene, where it's a bunch of Buzz Lightyears. And that's pretty much how everyone is in Lost Ark. Everyone looks the exact same because there's so few skins available. Now, with that being said, one of the important things to note is one, a lot of the skins that do exist in Lost Ark are seasonal, right? They're summer-based skins, Halloween-based skins, Christmas-based skins, Lunar New Year-based skins, and I'll show some footage here on the screen of all of those. And with that, there are even multiple years of those skins, or multiple releases. So we have 2020 Halloween, 2021 Halloween, Christmas, Lunar New Year, so on. And the main concern I have with a lot of those is, are we years behind on those? Are they going to bundle those together? I would like maybe some communication on that when we get to summer at least, or maybe we'll find out in some time. It would be nice to bundle a lot of those together, so we don't have to wait 2 years, because in the case of at least the anniversary skins, which are easily the best skins that exist in Lost Ark today, we're several years behind on that. So when it comes to the anniversary skins, they are player made, right? So players actually draw up the artwork for these skins in a contest, and the community votes on the winners for these skins. And we get the same for mounts and pets. And they spend a lot of time on this artwork. So right here is the second anniversary hunter skin, and there's different variations of these skins depending on the colorway that you want. And this goes for everyone. And in the more recent 2020, or more recent 2021, I should say, third anniversary skins for Lost Ark, the anniversary skins, players went all out on these and their design. And you can see this is the one that
Well, it finally happened. The Flash finally got a test screening. And here's the reaction. Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flicks. My name is Chris Wong. The Flash doesn't even come out for over a year from now, but we're already getting test reactions. And because so many people are wondering what's going to happen in this movie, how is it going to reshape the DCEU, what's going to happen to the Snyderverse, be aware, these could be spoilers. In fact, I think some of it are really spoilery. Right, so this first tweet that came out that really got people's attention to, okay, there's something going on Twitter today. Viewer Non posted this tweet of Zack Snyder's Justice League with a camera next to it. But if you notice, it says canon, meaning Zack Snyder's Justice League is canon. Okay, so that is good. That's a great start, knowing full well that Zack Snyder's Justice League is going to be part of canon, and they're not going to talk about the 2017 Justice League. Viewer Non's second tweet, remember how a few scoopers, including yours truly, said Ben Affleck was definitely 100% no takesy backsies done with Batman after Flash? Well, when he posted a video of Jonathan Frakes telling you you're wrong for 47 seconds. So basically, Ben Affleck is not 100% done. He's maybe coming back for more. He's gonna be around, which in itself is pretty exciting to hear, but I want to know more. Grace Randolph came out with a tweet saying Batfleck nearly makes it out of the Flash alive. Kind of, you'll see. Other scoopers are now simply confirming the news I broke first. There was a screening of the Flash again last night, but let's not get ahead of ourselves with crazy conspiracy theories. Okay, so there was multiple Flash screenings, but only now we're gaining a bit more info about this screening. Which makes you wonder, is there no embargo anymore? Or are people freely able to talk about this stuff now? Basically, the Flash movie will put the Snyderverse off to the side for Warner Brothers to access it, should they so choose sometime in the future. The Snyderverse is still largely removed from the DCEU with the changes I told you regarding Keaton's Batman, Supergirl, etc. If you remember, Muschietti talked a little bit about this when they introduced Ben Affleck coming back as Batman. This movie is a bit of a hinge in the sense that it presents a story that implies a unified universe where all the cinematic iterations that we've seen before are valid. It's inclusive in the sense that it is saying all that you've seen exists and everything that you will see exists in the same unified universe. So basically, if I use my hands, this is the current DCEU, and this is the Snyderverse that comes out like right down here, like right here. That may or may not be revisited, but it's still there, which is a good thing. But let's go back to that Zack Snyder's Justice League canon bit. What do they mean by that? How is it referenced in The Flash? Casey Walsh said this: "It sounds like it's referenced but not explicit. For example, Iris remembers Barry, and Batman and Barry discuss him having traveled through time before. There are no direct references, no Nightmare Universe, nothing specific outside of those discussions." And for the sake of being obvious at this point, when Kiersey Clemens came back as Iris West, that pretty much made Zack Snyder's Justice League canon because, Iris West wasn't even in the Joss Whedon's version of Justice League. But it's great to see that connection here, meaning that they've met before, which was in Zack Snyder's Justice League and not in 2017 Justice League. Also, Batman discussing with Barry that he's time traveled before, in which case, in the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League, he reversed time in order to save the world. So that does mean that the Muschiettis did kind of alter things once Zack Snyder's Justice League came out and decided to use that as a reference, that as canon for their own Flash movie. So in which case the Flash kind of, saved the Snyderverse. It's not erasing it, it's not ignoring it, it knows that happened, it does exist, but in a separate timeline. Well, what about the current timeline, the current universe, the current DCEU that's coming out of this movie? Casey Walsh said this: "The Flash is very much a DCEU reboot. A new universe will be born by its end, and the DCEU you knew will be completely different. So while some may rejoice at possibilities for the future, others will face a reality that some characters aren't long for this world." And of course, he had to post a gif of Henry Cavill as Superman waving, I guess, goodbye. As of the test screening, this could change. Cavill appears to be done as Superman. Oh no! Please let it not be so. Come on, man. Why? Okay, so does that mean at the end of the movie, Ben Affleck's Batman is going to exist in the Snyderverse only, and Cavill's Superman is going to exist in the Snyderverse only? Is that how it's going to be played? Well, wait a minute. Casey Walsh said this: "I was told it's pretty clear that the new timeline does not have a Superman." What kind of DCEU are we going to have no Superman? What is that? Superman? No Superman in the DCEU? That's just... You're going to have Michael Keaton as the new Batman for the new DCEU. And you got Robert Pattinson as another Batman, another Earth. That's great. Perfect. Where's that guy, man? Is it just Superman and Lois right now? That's it? That's all we have for this guy? We're not going to have a cinematic interpretation, a cinematic movie? Are we just going to wait for that J.J. Abrams? I guess we're just going to wait for that J.J. Abrams. But how does this make sense? What about those leaks about him being on set and stuff like that? He does say at the time of this test screening, so maybe, just maybe, it could be like Barry Keoghan, who was cut out of the test screenings for the Batman, in which indicated that he was Joker. So maybe there's still a little hope there. Why is Superman no longer in this new DCEU? Well, according to this article from Screen Geeks, this is a big spoiler in itself, Superman is replaced by Supergirl. Because according to Screen Geek, Sasha Calle's Supergirl, who is, by the way, Kara Zor-El's version of Supergirl, is going to replace Superman actor Henry Cavill as the DCEU's last survivor of Krypton. Because apparently in the new rebooted timeline, the Kryptonian villain Zod kills Cavill's Superman as a baby. Oh. What? You're really gonna have General Zod kill off a baby in the movie? I don't even know where I am right now. What is going on? Like, I don't know why Henry Cavill is not coming back. I don't know why they can't re-up him or whatever. That is just beyond me. But Supergirl is not Superman. They're separate characters. This is not gender bending. This is literally a different character. I mean, you've got Batman and Batgirl, but now you're just gonna have Supergirl, but no Superman. I mean, it might even be better saying, hey, Superman is like off at War World or doing something really big. But no, you're gonna kill him off. You're gonna. For Superman fans, Henry Cavill Superman fans, I think this would be the great time to say, I want the Snyderverse back, because that is the only way we're going to have Henry Cavill Superman, is in the Snyderverse, because obviously he's not going to be part of this current DCU anymore, if this is true, but, you know, it could be true. Now, for people who are wondering who's the main villain, well, it apparently is going to be Black Flash. And this was actually a scoop that came from Spider Culture. DC scoop, Black Flash will be completely CGI and will be foreshadowed once Barry leaves to try to prevent his parents' death. Black Flash ultimately finds Barry and fights him. Other cool things was the inclusion of Shazam. Shazam's also in the movie, and they have also said that rumored Christian Bale appearing in the movie. That's not true. They didn't say anything about Nicolas Cage, though. What about Nicolas Cage? Now, yes, it's over a year away, and a lot of things could change. They could do reshoots, they could do pickups, but it's still a good movie, but not great, according to these people who've seen it. Said this, I would caution that movies can change a lot in 15 months. But I'll say that the people I've talked to who have seen The Flash, and last night was not its first test screening, have liked it. That's probably the most important thing in the end. Now, the test screening seems to be doing well enough that the studio said, all right, maybe we should make part 2. Which, in fact, is what the ending of this movie is alluding to. You know, if Ezra Miller could just keep himself out of trouble and out of jail, I guess. The Flash 2 is reportedly happening. Expect Reverse Flash. But not only that, they're saying that this Flash movie is going to be leading to a major crisis event. A final crisis? Crisis on Infinite Earths? Which is probably saying that is years away, but that is the goal. A crisis event for the DCEU, where the new DCEU characters meet the old DCEU characters for one big movie. That is exciting. And just to throw it in there, because we're talking about crisis events, I'm just going back to that turkey picture that Zack Snyder had posted during Thanksgiving, where we get to see a Final Crisis book in the background. And this is just me kind of just guessing and wondering, maybe they even offered Zack Snyder to do a Final Crisis event for the end of this DCEU. But we'll see. Like they said, it's still over a year away. There's a merger coming up. I don't know if that will change anything, but it could. Time will tell. And since we have a lot more time now, a lot of things can happen. Well, what do you think about these Flash test screening reactions? Do you like what you hear? Do you not? Share your thoughts in the comments down below.
The Marvel Cinematic Universe, a film franchise that was kicked off by Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man 1 in 2008, and in December of 2021 released its 27th film, Spider-Man No Way Home. The DC Extended Universe kicked off in 2013 with Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, and in 2021 released its 11th film with James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. Today, we discuss the real reason as to why the MCU succeeded and why the DCEU has forever been in their shadow. To explain why one succeeded where the other failed, we need to take out personal opinion from the picture. This video is not based on my opinion of each franchise or the films attached to them. This explanation is purely based on simple evidence and research about both fandoms. By the time Man of Steel was released, Marvel had 7 films attached to their cinematic universe, including one Avengers film. This already put pressure on Warner Brothers and DC, who were just about to dip their foot into the cinematic universe pool. 3 years later, DC's second film would be released, the sequel to Man of Steel, titled Batman v Superman. In that time, 5 more Marvel films were released, and a month after Batman v Superman, Captain America's Civil War came out. So you can understand the pressure and eagerness Warner Brothers had to start increasing their roster for the DCEU, but that would be their downfall. If we accelerate to 2022, Marvel has 27 films in 14 years, and DC have 11 films in 9 years, one of those being a Justice League studio cut and another being a Justice League director's cut. If you picked out 5 films from the MCU at random, there will be a clear pattern. You feel the consistency in tone, in quality, and the overall viewing experience is very similar. If you were to do the same with the DCEU, you wouldn't experience the same feeling of consistency. And that's one of the reasons as to why the MCU is so far ahead of the DCEU. No matter what characters they use, no matter when the films were set, the films were consistent. They stuck to a plan and audiences fell in love with it. Now for comic book fans, yes, the constant shift in tone of the DCEU can be enjoyable, but for general audiences who are the make or break for big blockbuster films are a huge factor to consider. Consumers love consistency. They want to be able to trust the brand they are investing in. If a company is constantly changing their mind and shifting between different stories and tones, general audiences cannot trust that franchise. The MCU had a plan. They had an idea to build up towards Thanos whilst bringing in other Marvel characters and expanding the universe. Kevin Feige helped manage that to make sure that they felt all connected, and so it became a successful universe, with general audiences and Marvel comic fans alike all falling in love with the universe because they knew they could trust Marvel's films. The DCEU, on the other hand, started off with a plan but didn't follow through with it. No matter what you think of Zack Snyder, Warner Brothers hired him and asked him to create an accelerated plan for the DCEU, where other storytellers could build off of it, but mainly because they wanted to catch up to Marvel. After just 4 films in the DCEU, Warner Brothers changed their mind and decided to try and copy the Marvel tone, bringing in Joss Whedon to reshoot Justice League after Zack Snyder left the project due to his daughter passing away. This was the beginning of the downfall for the DCEU. Whatever general audiences had begun to get used to with the DCEU had been thrown out of the window when Justice League came around. A complete 180 in terms of tone, storytelling, and the overall aesthetic of the universe, and this was where audiences began to detach themselves from the DC extended universe. And like I said before, consumers want consistency. They want to be able to trust a brand and to know what they are getting in the next film. The MCU also had rough patches, just like the DCEU. Some of their box office numbers weren't the greatest at the start, but the difference is the studio had faith in those creating the universe. They allowed them to learn, to adapt, and to improve the overall universe, whereas the DCEU expected peak MCU box office numbers without laying down the foundations of their cinematic universe, and at the first sign of danger, they jumped ship, deciding to go in a completely different direction as to what the first 4 films had set up. Not only did that confuse the general audience, but it also alienated DC fans who were enjoying this new take on the superhero genre. Studio interference is also a big factor to consider when comparing the cinematic universes. 3 out of the 5 DCEU films were tampered with by Warner Brothers. Batman v Superman had 30 minutes cut out and was re-edited by the studio. Suicide Squad was rewritten and reshot because the studio wanted the film to be like Deadpool, and Justice League was heavily reshot, and the Snyder Cut is all the evidence you need to see what they changed. The key point is that the MCU stuck to their plan. They had faith in their creatives, and because audiences could see a pattern that they liked, they were able to get comfortable and be excited for each Marvel movie coming out, slowly building a huge following and a fandom that was mainly united. Now, I know that social media doesn't reflect an entire fandom, but it is a good way to see what fans are thinking. Just comparing the number of followers each company has, you can clearly see that the MCU is far more popular than the DCEU. If you look at the comments of MCU posts and DCEU posts, they are also completely different. MCU comments are filled with excitement, or discussing when the next trailer is coming out, or even who their favourite Spider-Man is. DCEU comments are arguing about which DC film is better, or why one storyline should die and another should carry on, or even who is playing Superman. There's such a contrast in the fandoms that makes me so grateful to be a huge fan of both, because I can watch DC films but also interact with MCU fans who seem to be far more united. This next part is
What's up, it's Seals, and yesterday on my stream, the fastest growing Lost Ark community over at Twitch, we were joking about a roadmap being imminent probably today, and guess what? It's finally out, and I slept through it. Let's look at the tweet from the Amazonians. Take a look into the contents of April and May. They said they were going to do these 2 months roadmaps. Alright, so here we go. We're just gonna go over the important stuff, cut out the flavor text. New martial artist, advanced class, last.
Why the fuck would a dog come here?
The fuck, dude? I remember the director came on board to make fun of the Amazonian naming. Glavier. Oh my god, I don't care what it's. I'm gonna call him Last Master. Okay, practicing on artistic. Alright, so basically she's coming. She has 2 stances, guys. 2 stances. Red. Blue. And her class engraving is pretty much you use her skills, fill up this meter, which does fill up over time anyways. We'll have a separate video for Landsmasters, and once it's full, you switch, you get the class engraving buff, and it's massive. So you get the full meter, you stands, and you get a big ass buff. That's like the TLDR. I'm guessing that her class engravings will be added in after she's added in. So Field Boss, they'll be dropping her class engravings. Pretty much this is the meta build, except for the raid captain. It's now updated for increases mass. So she'll be the 5th martial artist advanced class. You guys already know, man. Annika warriors, the female fighters, thick thighs, saves lives. They just in general have higher EHP, just like the warriors. We'll talk once again about our pros and cons in a separate video that's coming soon. We don't have any dates, but it's gonna be in April. We're gonna also get South Vern, which is the next continent. There's not gonna be any spoilers whatsoever in this video on my Twitch channel, but this is South Vern right here.
What the fuck are you doing here, Spotty?
Cool. That's all I gotta say about that. So we'll be getting South Vern, and that's gonna be at 1340. I do these on all my T3 characters because of the side quest rewards. The XP's fats. We'll talk about that once we're closer with some spoilers. All right, general updates.
What did Zeal say?
And that's going to be at 1340. I do these on all my T3 characters because of the side quest rewards. The XP's fats. We'll talk about that once we're closer with some spoilers. All right, general updates. South Vern and Glavier will arrive in April. Stay tuned in the coming weeks for more release specifics, aka dates. New login rewards, the ones we have now in NAEU, will end on the 14th. I know people finished them already, but they're giving ample time for everybody, casuals that do not play every day, to get the login rewards. That's how it always works in Korea and in NAEU as well. In-game events, I wish they shared more information about the in-game events through pictures like the way Smilegate does it, but it is what it is. Skins and store updates. Okay. Kind of curious about that. Are we going to get some packs up in here? Some mat packs? Maybe some power passes? Advanced Marie Shop? Like upgrade the Marie Shop? We have no idea. So we're going to have more information later. For now, they announced the Feiton power pass. So up to the Feiton. I don't know if this is going to be free. I'm guessing it's going to be free, just like the way they do it in Korea for a new class. We did that with Last Master. Last Master is the first class to be added into Lost Ark in Korea in 2019, and keeping the same traditions with us in NAEU as well. That's pretty cool thinking about it. All right, so I'm guessing we're gonna fade some power pass, maybe for free for Glavier, and that's gonna get us to 960 eye level, and then grind to 1100 to Punika. And we also need the knowledge transfer for Punika as well. We added into our stronghold. We'll see about that. And any other character you like. Okay. yeah, so I don't know if this is going to be free or if they're going to sell more. I hope it's both. We'll see about that. Quality of life improvements. I'm really happy about these. Improved co-op party play for secret maps. So the Chaos Gate maps, you're supposed to do them with 4 members, X for the rewards. Now, we had this system in Korea added in about a month and a half ago. You can no longer scam people. If you have 4 people with 4 maps, the game will consume those 4 maps. You do 1 secret map dungeon and you get X4 rewards. So if your group has 3, you insert the 3, you run the secret map once, not 3 times. You find it once, you do it once, and bam, X3 rewards. No scamadoodle. No one's gonna get fucked. I don't know why we didn't have this since day 1, but we got it now. I'm gonna stop complaining about that one. We got it. Hell yeah. I've been talking about this non-stop. Preset stuff is getting updated. I would like to see more, like the back attack, head attack indicator, chaos dungeon changes, where the level 2 map is more condensed, as well as boss rush changes, but we'll have to wait on that. May, we promise to be honest, sometimes brutally. Okay, I'm gonna skip the favorite text. These Amazonians, man. So basically what they're saying is that depending on the players' feedbacks, they may adjust this, but basically things may change. That's what they're saying. They're trying to make this safe on their end, so they don't get the backlashes. So let's take a look here. They're gonna release the Destroyer, Trial Guardian raids. That's the weekly stuff. And quality of life adjustments in May. Vartan Legion raid and Dead Kaluda. Okay, the chicken will be added in. That is the easiest Guardian. So what's going to be added in is this stage 6. Now we have the access to legendary Gale Wind. So I'm going to be farming Dead Kaluda. You don't have to have your daily attempts. These little orbs. You can just spam these to get the Gale Wind if you want. But that's going to be best in slot for a lot of my classes. So this is great. One of the easiest Guardians at 14-15 item level. And the weekly Guardian challenge is this one right here. Fat mats. Anyways, so these may be moved if these activities create pressure within the community. Man, one thing I said yesterday in our podcast with Stoops and Feiton is yo, just stop raiding the forums only. Okay? Not just the forums, the Amazonian forums. Take a look at Twitch, Twitter, everywhere. YouTube, just like they do in Korea. Alright, eventually endgame content will be introduced, but players should feel comfortable to continue progressing at their own pace. True, our data has suggested that a big portion of our active player base, players will reach or be close to reach.
Are they acknowledging the fact that there are bots here and they're part of the economy?
Basically by May. Vaulted
by saying
May.
active?
Active, not one of those I play once in every 3 days. Okay, our goal is to provide fun content for players, even if it's at a higher level, while never making players feel pressured to spend. We will continue monitoring player feedback and data, please do, but not just on your toxic forums. Please, Amazonians, listen, provide more updates, communicate more, blah blah. All right, that's great, please do so. So we're gonna get Destroyer in May, and I think this is gonna line up with the class balance, the first wave of class balance for 2022 in Korea, and that's gonna be tested in April in the test server and launched sometime in May.
Whatever that fight is, dude, we're in.
Over at Smilegate. So I think my prediction is that Destroyer is gonna get that class revamp. He desperately needs it. If all the classes were in a therapy group, Destroyer has the most to say. Okay, this does not mean he's bad. His new spec right now is owning. The way he works is irrational. He needs help. He needs, like, you go to the hospital, you have like a little scratch on your finger. Okay, calm down, man. This guy needs a freaking triple bypass right now. He needs to go. He needs to get a heart transplant. This guy is in the ER. All right. Now, once again, that does not mean he's bad. This guy is a stagger king. And he is really fun to play. So we'll see what happens to him. We'll keep a close eye on the class balance patch and see what happens. Alright, so we're getting Trial Guardian raids. We'll be adding new weekly activity for players looking for a challenge. We talked about that just earlier. I showed you guys the bulletin board. Each week, players can attempt to defeat 3 Guardian raids. They rotate. And they're going to have own required item level to enter each week, one Guardian will rotate out, replaced by a different foe. Korea has the same thing, differing from a normal Guardian raid. Trial Guardian raids will apply Scale of Harmony, basically lowering your item level, squishing it down for the appropriate content for the appropriate Guardian. And additionally, players cannot use the Battle Workshop in the raid region. So there's not going to be that little circle that you have when you start a Guardian. A normal, typical Guardian raid, you have the little circle where you can change your battle items. In this one, you don't. Alright, however, with increased challenge comes increased rewards. AKA, more mats being pumped in. The things we've been asking for, like the Challenge Abyss. No words, no mentions about that just yet, but we got one of them, the Trial Guardian raids. Okay? General updates. May will also have quality of life. Check daily and weekly content participation in the new meta. Okay, so we can see right here. Boom, we can see all our characters. We can see if they have done the dailies, the rested, all of that stuff. We can see it now in the game. No need to use
Finally.
apps or alt tab. So this is
Yeah,
gonna be
that would be
added.
nice.
This is great.
Really nice
UI
addition to the game.
I'm guessing that is gonna be like the party frame. Maybe we'll get for the Surge Blades, a Surge meter in the middle of the screen, as well as for Mayhem Berserkers, their HP bar. I think that's what they're talking about there. Improved Party Finder and Party Invites, updated loot dismantling. Are we gonna get the one that we have in Korea where we can set to auto dismantle loots? Convenience feature for market auction house, that's great, man. For example, in NAEU, if we go...
Move in the shadow.
Fuck that shit.
into, let's say, yeah, earring. You have to redo the engravings. But in Korea, we don't have to do that anymore. So necklace, ring, we don't have to refine the engravings. The auction house that we have in NAEU is just so outdated. So this is great. And a few fun features like being able to randomly summon favorited mounts. Okay, new hairstyles like the one I have right now. I made a video about that. Check that out if you want to see all the new hairstyles. But this is the one. You favorite the mounts. You know, it's just like the one in WoW. It'll just randomize and it'll mount the one that you like. Okay? Work with me here. Oh yeah, this one. Hope to see more mounts as well. Main. Tentative.
From the plains.
New
Oh,
Guardian
yeah,
raid
finally,
after
this is
Luda.
it.
So until then, we gotta keep doing Balganus. So it's gonna be 14, 15 item level, just like KR. And we're gonna have Legion raids,
What's next?
Molten, normal, and hard. Okay. Just like the way they do it in other regions like Russia. It's an 8-player Legion Commander raid. It's gonna be our first Legion Commander raid. More about this stuff later. It's gonna start at 14-15. Hard is gonna be 14, most likely 14-45. They didn't mention anything about that. So that's it, guys. For now, I personally am a little bit satisfied. I would love to see more pictures, more spoilers. And I think we could start seeing these things for the April ones starting even maybe this weekly reset, but for sure on the 14th. Because that's when the login as well
When I was
as
young,
Omen skin,
my mother sang me a
they're
song
going
about the
they're
blood
going
ring.
away. All right. Yeah, so let's just see what happens with that. I don't know how you guys feel. Last Master is a crowd favorite, according to my polls that we did with 10,000 players over at my Twitch. And yeah, she's super hyped right now. A lot of people are excited to play. I don't know what it is. People just like massive polls, I guess. That's what you guys said. I don't know. But Southvern, that's nice. I would love to see the Southvern Chaos Dungeon, but nothing about that.
What you wish.
Once we get Southvern, because in Korea we have to do Southvern in order to be able to enter the 14-15 Chaos Dungeon. So if you don't get it, I'll bitch about it later. May, is this too slow? We'll have to wait and see. But for now, finally we have, for some players, they were losing hope. I'm busting my balls, playing a lot, and is there something to look forward to? I mean, they know what's to come, because People are watching the content from the KR players like myself over at Twitch, but now they have literally things just mapped out in front of them to chase, to get excited for, to get ready for. I already noticed that legendary engraving increases mass started to go up because that is the best slot for now on Last Masters, especially for this classic engraving. So yeah, but I don't think you should be rushing right now, guys. Once again, Bolton is in May, tentative. Okay, so just calm down, guys. And I'll be calming you guys for the next 2 months, I guess. Anyways, I'll see you guys over at Twitch. There's a smart oh yeah on my screen. That means I need to get the hell out of here. Alright, thank you so much, guys. Let me know down below how you guys feel. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Come a little bit closer. I'll gouge out your heart. And then we'll see. Festus. Control. Discipline. I'm sick of it all. The truth is ugly and dirty. Is that why he tried
Panther
to
Cat? Is it
hide
that blue thing that I always see everywhere?
I mean, now it's transformed and
What's up, it's Seals, and yesterday on my stream,
Nobody. Psycha. 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 Do you think Psycha would know?
Mode for Volton as well, because I think that a lot of streamers and a lot of like groups are gonna like they're gonna beat Volton really fast. They're gonna beat it on like day one because these guys are like 1480 item level or 1490 item level, right? So the reason why it's important to do that is that the perception that I think a lot of people are going to have. I thought it was a new band. Austin's the live music capital of the world, so, you know, you hear that a lot. Sounds better than Imagine Dragons already. Anyway, so, like, people are going to beat the shit out of Volton on hard mode on day one, and I think that's going to give people this perception that, like, Lost Ark Legion raids is super easy, and if they release Hell mode that's, like, gear equalized, it'll give those super hardcore players something to work towards, and they'll be able to do that instead of just like instead of just doing hard mode and making the game look easy, because I think that the perception around the game is really important. Like, you don't want to have people just like shit stomp the content on day one, because then everybody thinks it's easy. Let's see here, Heroes of Arkesia. In March, Smilegate RPG joined us in our Seattle studios. They also defined the roadmap, improved operations and tools, continue collaboration on all things related to the Western release of Lost Ark. If you haven't read it yet, make sure to read our letter to the community. It's not really that big of a surprise. I mean, obviously the Lost Ark team is trying their best to make sure the game gets released. They've got a lot of money riding on this, so it's a good thing. For the purposes of the April and May roadmap, we'll start by reiterating a few things from that letter. We're going to keep the near future focused on horizontal content and giving players paths for progression without feeling like they need to pay. And I think that's a really good thing, man. Like, that is a war going on. I hate this shit, man. I'm actually I've thought about moving just because it's so loud, like constantly. I can't even think. So basically, like, what they said is they don't want people to feel like they have to spend money to unlock the new content. Because, like, in my opinion, I don't really think it's a problem that, like, you can spend money to get to 1490, because nobody cares about getting to 1490. It doesn't matter, it doesn't unlock any new content for you. It's just basically an ego boost for somebody that has a small dick. And that's about it. There's no other reason to do this. You don't unlock raid, you don't
I have to admit, that was funny, dude.
access to new materials. Yes, obviously you can
An ego boost for a person with such a small
time
one.
gated anyway. Things like, you know, your daily chaos dungeons, things like the daily guardian raids, all the things that you basically
I
farm
can't
and
believe he
add
said
to
that.
Here are limited. There's not really that many things that you can do with them. So because of that, the fact that all the content that you get to from, like, say, 1400, there's functionally no difference in the way that you
let's hear that
experience things.
again,
You don't
dude.
unlock a new raid, you don't unlock a new boss, you don't unlock access to new materials. Yes, obviously you can farm things more quickly, but almost all the things you can farm more quickly are time gated anyway. Things like, you know, your daily chaos dungeons with the resonance, things like the daily guardian raids, all the things that you can basically farm with having a high item level and really good gear are limited. There's not really that many things that you can do with them. So because of that, the fact that all of the content that you get to from, like, let's say 1400, there's functionally no difference in the way that you experience the game as a 1400 item level player right now versus a 1490 item level player right now. These things are literally the exact same thing. You are playing the exact same content, you are doing the exact same things, and yes, obviously, I'm assuming 1490, you're going to be able to kill things a little bit faster. However, that's not the end all and be all. So anyway, what really matters here is making sure that players are all able to get caught up, and whenever content does get released, people are at least able to approach it if they're playing a reasonable amount of time. Now, is it a reasonable expectation for all content that is released to be immediately accessible by casual free-to-play players? I don't really think so. I think that it's okay to have like hard modes, to have some content that is more accessible by only, well, that one, it's been 2 minutes. Yep, another airplane as well. And yeah, it's okay to have some content. Just wait for this. Now you can see why I can't do videos out here. Like, this is just nuts. Yeah, so anyway, some content for rich people. Well, it's not really content for rich people. It's basically that you can never really... Like, there are some people that are still in Tier 2 right now, and they just play super casually, right? I mean, they're playing, like, 2 hours a day, or they're playing, like, 2 hours every 3 days. So they just haven't really gotten that far in the game. They don't know how the upgrade system works. They're just fucking stupid, and they don't know what they're doing. And they're not stupid. They just don't know. And so they're playing it at their own rate, at their own pace, and, that's just generally what happens. So, I read something in chat that I thought was funny. And talking about majority and casual, not slow people. Exactly, right? And like, in my opinion, I think, like, what is the average player at right now? I think the average semi-casual, semi-hardcore, free-to-play player is somewhere between $13.50 and $13.85. Like, if they're not selling the materials and they're making a conscious effort to upgrade every single day, $13.50 to $13.85. I think that's what's fair. Like $13.40? No, I think higher than that. If you're still only $13.40, like, you probably, like, they've given you so many, like, welcome rewards and shit like that. If you're still $13.40, like, you probably haven't been playing the game, man. Like, yeah, and that's it. That's fine. That's fine. You don't need to be playing the game. But I'm just saying, like, that's the way it works. So yeah, and I'm $13.55. I work a full-time job. Well, like, that's my point though, right? And $13.85 can be free to play. Yeah, and there's people that are 1,400 plus that are free to play too. There's very rare people that are, like, you know, let's say 14, 15 plus and completely free to play. I'm sure they may exist though. And so anyway, what I'm really trying to get at here is that you want to release content to where the average casual, semi-casual player will either be at it on release or be very close to it on release. So that's kind of what I think their philosophy should be, and that's what it seems like their philosophy actually is. And that's a very good thing. And I'm really glad to see that Amazon is actually not talking around this issue. They're dealing with it very directly. They're saying very directly, we don't want to have people feel like they have to pay real money to get ahead in the game, right? That is a great thing to hear, because it shows that they understand crystal clear what people's concerns are. So yeah, I think that's a great thing. That's my opinion, at least. That's what they do? No, they did that once, right? Like, they did that once with Argos. It was a stupid mistake. They shouldn't have done it, but it happened. And so what did I say with Argos? I said something very simple. I said that we're going to have to wait and see what happens in the future. And if they continue doing this, then I will say they're doing it on purpose. But the first time is, you know, I usually give people a mulligan. I usually do. Even if I distrust them, I will give them the benefit of the doubt generally, as long as it's not, you know, a really bad thing for me. So like, for example, it's like fool me once, shame on me. Sorry, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. 2 points create a line, and so you can't really see if things are really connected or not until you have multiple examples of something happening. There's always going to be people, and this is what happened with Classic WoW. Like, let's actually talk about that. Is like in Classic WoW, whenever they brought out PWL, and even whenever they brought out AQ40 and stuff, some people were saying like, bro, like I'm still fucking like level 58 or I'm level 48, like I haven't even finished the content. And it's like they want the whole game to like conform around them because they're really casual and really slow at the game. So how do you solve that problem? You don't. You can never make everybody happy. And this is just like the truth with any of these situations, and I think it's such a huge mistake whenever different developers try to do this. It's such a huge mistake whenever developers try to go out of their way to actually like make every single person happy. So I think that's kind of what happens. And the nature of free-to-play games, though, it's intentional. Play Genshin, they know their tactics. Here's the problem, right? Is that MMO players, if a game gets a reputation that it's pay to win in an MMO, people will stop playing it. It's literally that simple. They're going to stop playing the game. It doesn't matter, like, Lost Ark is pay to win to an extent, but the selling point that people always promoted with Lost Ark before it got released was that Lost Ark was pay to win if you want to get the absolute best gear, but you can still experience the entire game and without a whole lot of problems if you don't pay anything. That's always been the argument, and I think that's fair. It's not a big deal. So that's really what the issue is. So it's like, it might sound like a, you know, like a fucking third grade business, you know, mindset that like, oh yeah, this is a great idea. Let's just go and make the game super fucking pay to win and then make a bunch of money. But if you do that, then everybody quits the game. You see what I'm saying? So it's like like, it would be great if you could sell every bag of Cheetos that you have for $1 billion, but people aren't going to buy it for that much money. So that's the example. Yeah. Anyone who plays Lost Ark is retarded, basically. I mean, not really. I think people just like the game. Like, I like the game. I think it's a fun game, and that's really what matters to me. Is that if I'm not having fun playing a game, I just quit playing the game. It's literally that simple. And I think that a lot of people, I hate this. Like, I literally hate this so much. I really do. Like, this is just, like, I'm about to just go inside or just turn off the stream. Like, it's so annoying. Like, I hate this so much. I need to get, like, somebody link me on Twitter, one of those, like, fucking, like, machines that, like, plays a dog whistle. I'll buy them. Yeah, I'm gonna get, like, 3. I'm so sick of this shit. Unless you're feeling uncomfortable. No, it's just, it's very distracting and it's hard for me to concentrate. Like, I have a very weak concentration. Even the slightest thing will kind of take me off of my, it's stressful. It's extremely stressful to have this, like, things happening constantly around you. It's always got freedom of speech. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's pretty much the way I look at it, right? Is that, like, you've got a situation where a lot of people have this perception that Lost Ark's pay to win, and now, like, everybody is, like, waiting for, like, that next new thing to come out for them to be, like, justified and be like, yes, I fucking knew it was pay to win. There it is, you're doing that bullshit again. So that's why I think they're being really, really careful with this. And, you know, spoiler, if you haven't read the roadmap yet, Feiton isn't coming out until May, which is a good idea. I think that's a very, very good decision. Obviously, it does delay the content, and people, you know, there's a lot of people that are like me, right? Like, it would be great for me if Feiton came out tomorrow. Like, that would be awesome, because then I could log on and do Feiton immediately. But that's not really something that matters. Like my experience as a, you know, like a simming whale in the game, right? People giving me stuff constantly. I spent like $600 to get that weapon. Like, my experience is not the experience that Lost Ark needs to worry about maintaining, because somebody like me will find a way to find content in the game in other ways anyway. What they really need to keep on the game is people that are casual, people that are more relaxed about it. More like Whale. No, Whale's like, people spend like $20, $30, $50,000 on the game. Like, I spent like maybe $1,500, $2,000 on it. Like, it's not even remotely close. Like, people, it's way more. Yeah, it's not like some people spend 2K. Yeah, or more. Exactly. So, not even casual people will play the game. And so, like, yeah, the way I play the game, I'm like a dolphin, exactly. And the way I play the game is not really the way that the game should be designed in order to create a content cadence for. It should be designed to create a content cadence for casual players and people that are semi-hardcore. I think that's generally the best idea, with optional hardcore encounters for players that are very hardcore. And I think those optional hardcore encounters should be the hell modes, because the hell modes are the ones that are gear equalized. Those are the ones that don't have you know, a bunch of like really difficult you know, gear checks or anything like that. It's gear equalized. And so that needs to be the real challenge in the game, because that's where you know, you can really see people for what they are and not what they paid for. You know what I think the biggest population of whales are, and people that spend money are? I would say that it's like a lot of them are people that are like hardcore players that spend money on the game regularly. So these are not like the $30,000 Andes. These are like the $500 a month Andes. These are the $1,000 every 2 month Andes. Something like that. And those are the ones that are like really pushing the content, really pushing hardcore. Like, I know, like in WoW, for example, a lot of the people that I knew that bought gold all the time were actually some of the most hardcore players, because they're the ones that are the most invested in the game, and so it makes sense that they would want to invest more into the game, right? Just logically. And we want to give players more time to reach the end game before introducing Legion raids, the definitive Lost Ark raiding experience, and ensure players are able to explore Arkesia and progress at their own pace without feeling pressured to race towards endgame content. And that's a good thing. I think that's definitely a good thing. On March 24th, our update included new materials to add with honing chances that can be earned in the 2 events, and more ways for people to earn weekly honing materials and honing materials as a gift to all players. April will continue that trend, providing more horizontal content for players to enjoy as they learn the systems of Lost Ark and continue to progress. With that, let's deep dive into April. And again, I think this is all good. These are all good things. These are all improving the experience of players. And I think just in general, it's good. Yeah, this is just overall
Son of a
good.
bitch!
All of that mindset is good. I think the changes were good for the Grand Prix, and I think they were also good for the Guardian event. I think the Guardian event is it's new, it's different, it's fresh. It won't last that long, and I think by the time people really get tired of it, it'll be gone. So it's kind of like up/place, right? I think that's perfect. So yeah, and that's a good thing. Still no head and back attack bar. Yeah, that's stupid. That should be in the game tomorrow. But it's not, and so like we'll talk about that, you know, whenever it is. Will any of these changes bring players back? I think that really whenever you're talking about bringing players back, the goal isn't really to bring players back, it's more to retain players whenever they start playing the game. Because a lot of people that quit playing the game are probably not going to come back until there's like a massive patch or something like that. It's more about new people are trying Lost Ark every single day. New people are making accounts. New people, like even in New World, right? I went out and I was looking around the New World, and I saw a bunch of people that are like level 21, like level 44 or 31, and it's like these are just people like out in the game playing the game. And so what it's really about is like retaining those players for longer and keeping the life cycle of the experience that player has long enough for it never to really fully complete, because the content keeps getting released at a cadence that's beyond what their completion rate is. So that's what I think the goal is, and that's what I think should work. So anyway, let's go back over here. 1 class per month is bullshit. I think 1 class per month is totally fine. Like 1 class per month is a lot. Yeah, I mean shit. Like I mean I don't know. I'm not really much of like an all bandy, but like I think that's plenty. Wait, what do you want? Like once a week? Like damn. Yeah, yeah, 1 class a month is really, really good. Why don't you disagree? Because I think that like if you start bombarding people with content, this is kind of what happens. So like I guess the best example that I can use that's a parallel to this is on a YouTube channel. So on a YouTube channel, it's actually better to not upload a bunch of videos all at the same time. It's better to space them out, because you get what's called viewer fatigue, where people watch one video and then they don't want to go on to the next video because they just got done watching the first one. So it's better to space things out, and that way you give people the ability to enjoy it without feeling like they have to do everything all the time right now. So yeah, give them the slow trickle. It's just a better way of releasing content in general. That's why so many different games do that. Even if the classes are ready to play, yes. Even if the classes are ready to play, yes. That's exactly it. And logically it makes sense. Yes, logically it makes sense. And in pretty much every circumstance that I can think has a use case for this, it is a better way of introducing the content. Yeah, you introduce it in stages, and that way, again, you're pacing players. People don't feel like they have to play constantly to keep up. People don't get overwhelmed. People don't get distracted. It's like they're playing with one new thing, and then they get another new thing, and it's like, oh my god. It's like the video of the dog, and they're throwing a tennis ball down. The dog bites the tennis ball. Oh wow. And there's another tennis ball. He tries to bite that one. And there's like 50 tennis balls, and it's like, what the fuck? And he runs away. You know, so that's the way I feel about it. Right, I think one class a day is totally fine, or one. That's a bit much. One class a month is totally fine. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. Like, there's always going to be people that would be better for them personally if they released more classes. So, for example, there's a lot of people that really want to play Scouting, that because it looks really cool. So it's like, to them, well, they're pissed because the class isn't out yet. But I mean, again, you can't really design a game and make gameplay decisions and make everybody happy. I think that it's the best option is to do the most good for the most people, right? That's the smartest thing to do for a developer, and I think that's what Amazon is doing now. So yeah, there we go. Anyway, let's go back over. So new martial artist advanced class, Glaver. Now, I'm going to be honest. I think the name sucks. I think the name's fucking stupid. This is the Lance Master. This is a stupid fucking name. Nobody knows how to say it. Just rename it to Lance Master. Everybody knows what Lance Master is. Name it to Dragoon. Name it to Lance Master. Name it to Halberdier. That doesn't really work. I don't. Lancer. Yes, how about Lancer? Yeah, Lancer sounds great. Yeah, why not just do Lancer? That makes perfect fucking sense. And what do they use? Oh, they use a lance. Oh. Huh. That makes sense, huh? Yeah, sure. Okay. And name it Pokeboy? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it's a stupid fucking name. But who cares? It doesn't really matter. Let's look down here. Practicing artistic theater from martial arts. The Glavier slices and dices her way through the battlefield, weaving together attacks with her spear and glaive. Glavier has two distinct sets that can be swapped between, Focus and Fury, which each stance skill set represented by one of her two weapons. Shorter spear, use unused Fury's barrage. Yeah. Basically, it's an advanced class between War Dancer, Soul Fist, Striker, Scrapper, and the fifth one is Glavier or Lance Master. So yeah, I think that's good. New class is great. I'm happy, and not really a class I'm going to play a whole lot. It did look cool seeing the video and everything, but it's not something I'm like super excited for, if that makes sense. New continent. No, new continent's coming out. I think this is something a lot of people expected. This is where I think the bridge came in from, and it's South Vern. That's on the other side. It's to the south of North Vern, by the way, for anybody who was unsure. That's where it is. So yeah, we're getting South Vern. Settlers of South Vern borrow technology, many different races from once barren land. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so let's get back down to the port thing. What could be happening to this peaceful continent? Well, I'm sure something bad. And uncover the mysteries of South Vern as you venture into this new region, encounter new characters, and complete quests. South Vern will join Punica as the second Tier 3 continent, requiring an item level of 1340 to begin. For our newer players, we'll be sharing more information with how to work your way towards Tier 3 and join the new adventure. So yeah, it's 1340, that's where it's based at. I think that's totally fine. General updates. You're here. South Vern and Glavier Advanced class are not only things to arrive in April.
This is it.
They are also doing new login events, new login rewards, new skins, store updates, kind of all the stuff that you would expect from any sort of a from an MMO update. I think it just makes sense. And let's look at this other one here. And this is one they're going to announce right now. They're having a Feiton.
Let's watch this one. This one's worth to watch. This is my second time here. The first one, or the first experience, was amazing. Fuck. Just looked at each other.
Long ago, he said to me, when the black rain comes, every living thing will die. There's nothing we can do. But for a delay, death
That's young Tryndamere right there.
are our constant companions. So, it really doesn't matter, even if today is the day. Perhaps we've been waiting for this rain to finally put an end to this insufferable chaos.
Yeah, boy. Goosebumps. Let's go.
So, you've come.
Avestus, hear me! Protected at all costs.
Yeah, boy. Let's go. This is what I love about the game.
Familiars of darkness, open your eyes. Now that this land has fallen into darkness, the black rain will fall forever.
Holy shit, we're getting our asses handed back to us. Oh, I just missed him. He just outplayed me so bad. Yeah, man.
The Avestus need our assistance. In the name of Regulus.
Never say never, buddy.
Blast that giant demon away!
No way.
Coming. We need to work fast. We have your back. Keep going.
Okay, it worked. Not many are left.
That's how it's done.
Disappeared. Oh, there you are. He sucked everything in. No.
I still can't believe it. I can't even imagine what Psycho went through.
It's already the day of the funeral.
I should say goodbye. He deserves
Rest in peace.
I've been waiting for you, wanderer who cleared the dark skies. Gods above. These souls are on their way back to your embrace. Welcome them back into the light.
And that's the end of Feiton, guys. So the verdict, was it worth, or is it worth to knowledge transfer Feiton. Now the whole thing, or this whole endeavor, made me change my fucking mind. Playing through Feiton was quite fun in the end. Not at first, but all you really need to do is basically just, you know, if you have a second monitor going on, you can have a podcast on there or watch a movie perhaps. I was just so lucky that the new patch is coming sooner than later, and that my favorite content creators were already making content about it, and we're talking about it with other content creators. And, you know, you just watch that on your other screen, and then you just play through the story, and then just turn it off once you get to the end, where the black rain starts dripping, you know? So, nah, you don't have to knowledge transfer Feiton. 1,600 gold was probably a waste on my first alt, so I wasted gold, it's fine. I've got my second alt to tier 3, which is good. I can't wait for next reset. I can finally funnel some materials over to my main. And then my goal is, before the reset hits, is to get this guy to tier 3. That way I can funnel 2 times or more materials to my main, so I can go to 1370 hopefully. So yeah, that's the end. And no, don't knowledge transfer Feiton. Not worth.